Hello, today we have some great tips for you for the month of June. Well, up to this point we've been really blessed with some mild weather and some rainfall, but eventually we're going to get that typical hot summer weather. And so one of the main chores in the garden is maintaining even soil moisture or good soil moisture to help protect our plants or keep them vigorously growing. So we encourage you to, when you water deeply by applying at least 1 inch of water per application. That will of course depend on your soil type, the types of plants that you're maintaining, and of course weather conditions. If it gets really hot and dry and you have sandier soils, you're going to have to apply more water more frequently. But generally the idea is to water deeply, get that soil moisture down at least 6 inches deep, maybe 8 or 10 inches. It would even be better to encourage deep root growth. This is also a good time to do that last minute cultivating of your landscape beds, get rid of any of those weeds that may have been lingering around, and then mulch the beds. Mulching of course will help keep those weed seeds down and keep that soil moisture even so that again the plants are less water stressed. Now for those of you who have trees that are growing in landscape areas or especially in turf areas, you want to make sure you protect those trunks by establishing a weed-free, grass-free area around the base of the tree, mulch that area, and then keep the grass and the weeds out so that the lawnmowers and the weed eaters aren't up close to the trunk of the tree. You can also use protective plastic covers on the base of the tree or around the trunk, and that helps provide a little protection against the power equipment, again, such as the lawnmowers and the weed eaters. Now at this time of year we sometimes have unwanted shoots and limbs that grow vigorously beyond the normal growth of a plant. Some tree species and shrub species have a tendency to do that. You can go ahead and cut those back or remove them completely to help maintain a good shape of the tree. Now June is also a good time to take cuttings for many of our trees and shrubs. You can root those and get new plants to plant in the landscape. For turf areas, for those of you who have warm season grasses, we want to put down another application of fertilizer in the early part of June. Usually we're going to put down about 1 pound of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. If you're going to establish a new turf area, warm season grass from seed, that needs to be completed by the end of June. This gives the plants enough time to mature before the colder weather sets in the fall. This is also a good time to control some of those summer annual weeds that have popped up, doing post control with the post-emergence herbicides. For those of you who are maintaining cool season grasses in your landscape, brown patch can be a real common disease, especially on tall fescue species. This is usually a problem because of we're growing them in shadier areas. There's poor air movement, high humidity. We're watering them like crazy to keep them alive because they require more water than our warm season grasses. So this problem can arise really quite frequently. So some of the things you can do, of course, is to try not to water too much, open up the area, allow a little bit more light in, and make sure there's good air circulation to help lower the humidity and keep the turf grasses dry. But then you can also apply a fungicide to help control the disease if it happens to pop up. If you're going on vacation this summer, be sure to find a friend that will water and harvest your vegetables and mow your yard. This helps keep your plants, of course, alive and healthy, but it keeps the landscape looking nice and neat and implies that somebody is at home. This is also a good time to pinch back leggy annuals, encourage more branching, and of course water and fertilize appropriately. It's also a good time to fertilize your established perennials, and if you have really tall growing perennials that need some extra support, if you haven't already put some staking material in place, now would be a good time to do that. That's going to provide that support and so that your plants aren't flopping over later on this summer.